Hey everybody, happy Friday to you. It is officially June. We're getting into summer and it's getting warmer, and there are a lot of changes going on in the real estate market going on right now. I'm Anthony Cazenza, realtor with Casa Realty Group. Happy to be coming at you talking some real estate, some data, some information, and other things going on in the market as we speak right now. So look, there's been a shift in a lot of different ways in this market. And the shift has been that inventory has increased. You'll see that we'll provide some data to show that. You'll see that there's still a lot of competition out there, and there's still a lot of competition in now the rental market as well. There's a lot of competition out there, not a lot of inventory there. So what you're starting to see in terms of things being remedied a little bit on the listing and purchase side, supply demand there, you're seeing a little bit of this similar discrepancy that we've been experiencing over the past few months and years on the purchase slash selling side. Now you're seeing that on the leasing side. So a lot of interesting things happening right now, a lot of questions. Hopefully we at Casa Realty Group can provide some answers for you. Hopefully all of the answers. We'd like to think we have a lot of answers for you and a lot of resources. If we don't specifically have it, we can point you to the right people. Again, go to casabellrealtygroup.com for information. You can contact us through there. You can contact us a variety of different ways. We want to be your go-to resource for your real estate needs, whether it's investments, purchases, the listing side, selling, and of course, leases. We've been working with a lot of folks on that front as well. So want to help you out how we can. All right, let's get to some market information. We'll get to some community spotlights that we want to get to, and then we'll get out of here. So we'll start as we usually do with, an article kind of noting some things going on. Usually the go-to resource we use in this front is realtor.com. They do look at things through a national lens. So if you are looking for some information on, specifically Orange County, you got to kind of hone it down a little bit, but still it gives us a good macro view of what's going on in a lot of different areas. You can see here, this is on realtor.com, a recent article in early June, just about a week ago. It hit on the 2nd, and this is the housing market just hit a turning point that could change the home buying game. That is the title of the article by Margaret Heidenreich. And you can see here, mark your calendars. The month of May go down as a turning point in the red hot real estate market that's been scalding home buyers for the past few years. We've been talking about on this podcast, and when we talk to clients and whatnot, we've talked about quite often about the element of the scales kind of balancing in terms of sellers and buyers. Sellers can still capitalize and make quite a bit of money on their properties, but we are seeing, some things where that aggressive nature, that aggressive list price in some properties, ones that maybe need work depending on the area that they're in and all kinds of different variables. We are seeing some of those now sit a little bit, or, you come out of the gates a little aggressive on the pricing, depending on the situation. And sometimes there are price reductions that are happening more frequently, wherein, a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, that was not really the situation. It was climb, climb, climb. So here you go. Real quick though, Danielle Hale, chief economist of realtor.com. We are, quote, we are seeing more homeowners decide to sell. I've got data to back that up in just a second. Buyers can expect inventory going forward, more inventory going forward, more homes to choose from. For context, even though we're seeing inventory grow, it remains quite low, which is referring to the amount of homes available for sale before the pandemic, a couple of years ago. But this is one of the reasons we're still seeing home prices go up and home spending a record low amount of time on the market. How high are home prices now? You see the median across the nation, 447,000. You basically double that up or so. In Orange County, it's higher than that, but that's the national average. But still, these numbers still show a lot here. 17.6% increase over the last year, and 35.4% compared to May 2020. And then, of course, we know that rates are climbing. We've talked about that. We've got one of our great resources that we will lean on in just a second for some information on that. But you can see that there's more inventory to choose from. And as I said, I've got some more videos and graphics and whatnot that I will show you all, that you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the good news for buyers. Yes, they are still battling high home prices and a bit of competition, but it's less competition because the inventory is rising. And again, if you've been thinking about buying, those rates keep climbing, and this is still an opportune time to buy. You got to find the right situation for you, and you got to get connected to the correct loan professional to make sure that you can get the best loan for you and one that's manageable for you. To that point, I want to share some information. He does a great job and sends this to us weekly. One of our great resources in the mortgage industry, that is Chris Pacheco of the Pacheco team. The website for him is fundedbychris.com. So we always appreciate him giving us these bits of information weekly. We try and share these somewhat frequently on these videos, podcasts, whatever you want to call it. Here you go here, though. Last week's activity: unemployment rate held steady during May. 390,000 jobs were created. Both new and continuing jobless claims fell last month. Appreciations of homes soared above 20% nationwide to 20.6%. Here you go on the bottom. We've talked about leases and renting and whatnot. Rents increased 1.2% last month and is at a 15.3% increase year over year. This week's outlook, and you can see today, which was Monday, earlier stocks are higher and mortgage bonds are sharply lower to start the week, which is a negative. Throughout the week, biggest report is waiting for the consumer price index. Mortgage applications, 10-year and 30-year bond reports also due this week. Those should be out by now, so check that information out. And then you've got the rates here. When we've begun doing these videos a couple of years ago, these were in the threes, in the fours across the board in terms of percentages. I mean, about half of what we're seeing here is what the rates were at. So we've seen these climb. Now, these are still, in the big picture of things, in the historical perspective, these are still really manageable interest rates, but based on where they were, it's, and if you have been thinking about buying, you've been monitoring this is something that's kind of jarring a little bit in terms of where you may have had a rate locked in and where those are in now. But national averages: conventional 30-year rate 5.625%, FHA loan 30-year 4.925%, a jumbo 30-year 6.25%, a VA 30-year 4.925%. And you see some others there, kind of the more creative types of loans: bank statements, debt service ratio, community programs, all that kind of stuff, in the high sixes to low sevens, depending on what you are looking at. So thank you to Chris right there, Pacheco Team Loans, Chris Pacheco. Really great guy. We can attest to his service. Go to fundedbychris.com for some information from him. Let him know that we pointed you his way, and he'll take great care of you. I promise. A knowledgeable guy, and a guy that prides himself on hard work and serving his customers very, very diligently, and we can attest to that. So thank you, Chris, for always helping out our clients and for providing us with a lot of information there, like what you sent our way. Okay, let's continue on with the gurus over at Reports on Housing. They always give us a little bit of some snapshot information that is very, very helpful. Let's start here. Now, there'll be a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of the data I pulled earlier that is reflective of today, 6/10, but you can still see here, big picture, current demand, 2,113 pending sales. That'll be a little different than what I'm going to show you just because this came out a little bit ago, but you can see here, 8% drop in demand since March 31st. Wow. Last year, there was 3,083 pending sales, and the 3-year average, of course, not, you see the asterisk there, which is 2017 through 2019, pre-pandemic, 2,738 pending sales. So this is a drop. Interesting stuff there. And again, you can, if you're reading between the lines as a potential buyer, you can see what we're kind of pointing at here. Another a couple pieces of information from reports on housing affordability challenges, and this is from the end of May, beginning of June. Demand is dropping due to affordability. Lower rates had propped up affordability, yet today's higher interest rate environment is impacting demand as many home buyers struggle to afford the monthly payment. Again, you got to figure out, if you got a budget, what works for you. You have to really crunch the numbers. You have to work with a mortgage professional. You have to work with a real estate professional to make sure that all the pieces fit, and that you, if you are looking to buy, you are not overextending yourself and you are getting into something that is both desirable and affordable. The highest since December in terms of the active listing inventory. You can see it's higher. The numbers there will be a little bit different in terms of the Orange County numbers I'll provide there. And again, it references the 3-year average prior to COVID, but still, you can see here it has been rising. And if you've been paying attention to these videos, which I know you have, and if you have been listening to what we've been telling you, this was on the horizon for the summer of 22. The rise in inventory, the rise in available homes, all of that was going to happen. That's what every chief economist was saying. That's what real estate economists were going to say. We knew that the rates were going to coincide with ticking up with that as well. So that is what we're seeing. Demand dips again. We talked about that just a second ago with the other graphic. And then closed sales are down year over year. 2,565 closed residential resales in April, 26% less than April 2021. And March marked a 3% decrease compared to March 22. So down. And then, of course, we are still seeing, at least in Orange County, not a lot of short sale / bankruptcy / any of that kind of stuff. It's just sellers with equity that are looking to sell their home. Not many other non-traditional sales at this point, or foreclosure sales at this point, at least in Orange County, to report. So thank you to Reports on Housing for their great information as well that they always supply us. We appreciate you as well. All right, let's go to the video / data that we have pulled from the MLS. And we've got a little bit of a different spin on it this time. We've got the listing, purchase / sale side, as well as some rental information as well. So as of 6:10 this afternoon, coming soon, there are 183 or 131 from 6:10 to 6:20. And then, of course, you got active listings, 3,074, 753 of those since June 1st, active under contract, meaning they are in escrow and have the contingencies in place, 1,195, 459 of those in Orange County since June 1st. Pending sales, 1,322, 234 of those since June 1st. Closed, 704 since June 1st. Of course, it's the 10th, so we're talking about a week and a half's time here. But look at that active number, 3,074. That was at best early in this year cut in half. About, I remember it being in the high 1100s, 1200s, and then of course 1500s. So that active inventory is really rising. And here you go on the rental side, 47 coming soon in Orange County, 31 from 6:10 to 6:20. Active 1,265, 342 of those since June 1st. Pending 220, 114 of those since June 1st. Closed 381 since June 1st. And we know that these move a little faster, but this is a highly competitive market, as I mentioned earlier, that's gaining more and more competition. There are multiple applicants per rental that are out there for the most part. There are some that were overly priced and have sat and or changed their lease rate a little bit. But for the most part, this is a highly competitive aspect of the market. And it is now, as the list and sale side has kind of leveled off. It's still competitive and the prices are still high and whatnot, but we're seeing that balance of the scales where the rental market is now feeling the effects of the hyper competitive market and has yet to catch up to where the purchase / listing side is in the market. So that's something to think about. We have been helping a number of clients, both ones that we sold their house and decided to rent afterward in this market, or ones that just needed are looking to lease and potentially buy down the road. We've helped out a number of clients. We've also leased out as listing on the listing side of leases. We've been doing a lot of those recently, just kind of again pointing to the hyper competitive nature of that aspect of the market. And since we're getting more and more inquiries on that, we thought we'd present some data on that for you as well. All right, we're going to get out of here in just a second, but we're going to highlight a couple of things going on in the community that we want to share with you. So we like to highlight some charities and different nonprofit organizations and whatnot in the community, whether it's a national level or local level. But this is, a cause near and dear to our heart. The Down Syndrome Association of Orange County, they do a lot of great work helping families, providing resources for children and adults with Down syndrome. And they have a number of different fundraising events. One is coming up here on June 20th, which is a golf tournament that you can participate in. You can also sponsor and do all kinds of different elements with assisting them, but they do a lot of great work in the community, and they've got a lot of great success stories. They've got a buddy walk coming up here as well. That's kind of similar to like the Light the Night leukemia lymphoma, the big walk they do at Angel Stadium. This is something similar to that. And then, of course, you've got Educator of the Year and all kinds of different things here, red carpet ball. So a lot of different things going on here, resources for expectant parents, resources for, like I said, children and adults with the Down syndrome and whatnot. So the Down Syndrome Association of Orange County, go check out and see how you can help them out and give them your assistance, or hey, just see if you can be a resource to them, resource to other families, see how that can play out and help a lot of other people. So thank you to the DSAOC, and go check out dsaoc.org for more information on everything they provide families, and a lot of good stuff there. All right, let's finalize things with this. This is a little bit, I've been pleased to be a part of the YPN network within the Orange County Realtors. So I want to promote this really cool little new event that we are putting on and throwing here, the Mini Masters Foot Golf Tournament. So it's kind of soccer/golf hybrid at Lake Forest Golf Club on July 13th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Trying to beat the heat a little bit there earlier part of the day. And you can see that it's $40 a person. You play 9 holes and you kind of kick a soccer ball and try and get it. They make it more, obviously the hole or the pin is more sized for a soccer ball. And then from there, you kind of play foot golf with it. So it's kind of cool, a different way to get out. And then obviously, 9 holes, not taking up the whole day. So you can still have more fun beyond the foot golf tournament. You can go back to the office, whatever you want to do, $40 a person. There are some great sponsorship opportunities and networking opportunities as well. So if you are in the real estate industry, whether it is on the lending side, title, mortgage, escrow, anything like that, you definitely are welcome. Hey, even if you're not, and you want to just play some foot golf, and you want to get out there and meet some new people, go for it. It should be a really, really fun time. We're expecting, upwards of about 100 or so people, if not even more. There's going to be some food and different things going on there. So check it out on the YPN Mini Masters Foot Golf. And you can go to ocrealtors.org/mini-masters. And you can contact another great representative in the YPN group and with OCAR there, Zippy McDougald. She is reachable at 949-268-0402 or zhipi@ocrealtors.org. Go give her a shout if you want to sponsor, if you want to be a part of this, or you can go sign up, and $40 a person. It's good stuff, fun times, and a new event by the YPN within OC Realtors. Thanks, everybody. That's going to do it for us. Hopefully you found this informative. Hopefully you had a little fun, and you go help out those community entities and or participate in the OC Realtors event coming up at the beginning of next month. So take care, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will be back next week to give you more data.